You know, we're all in this race, right? Trying to keep up in the age of AI. We're trying to think faster, process more data, just be more logical. But what if we're playing a game we can't possibly win? Today, we're going to talk about a totally different kind of power, primal intelligence. This is our human edge, the stuff that machines just can't touch.
So let's just start with this question, because it's a big one. Are we actually trying to beat AI at its own game? Think about it. When we focus on raw speed and pure data, we're not just falling behind, we're literally ignoring our most powerful and unique human advantages.
All right, let's dive in. The whole idea here is that our culture, our schools, our jobs, they've all trained us to value one very specific, almost machine-like way of thinking. And in doing so, we've kind of pushed aside this deeper, way more powerful intelligence that every single one of us has.
And this really gets to the heart of it. For generations, we've been told that to be smart is to think like a machine, all about logic, all about data. But that just sets us up for a losing battle against actual machines. We're being taught to devalue the very things that make us, well, human.
So, this obsession with pure computation, it leads us straight into what we can call the logic trap. It's basically a set of common mistakes, these little mental traps we all fall into. Let's break them down.
Okay, mistake number 1. We think data is king. We believe that the numbers and only the numbers will lead us to the best decision. We treat things like story or emotion as just noise, something to be ignored. The real improvement is to see logic as just one tool in the toolbox. Real intelligence happens when you integrate that data with narrative and emotion to see the whole picture.
Second, we're taught to be afraid of messy situations. We want clean data, clear answers. So we completely avoid what you could call low data zones, those ambiguous, uncertain moments. But that's a huge mistake, because that's where all the breakthroughs happen. The skill isn't to avoid the mess, it's to learn how to spot the weird things, the plot twists, that pure data will always miss.
And the final mistake, the big one, is trying to beat AI at its own game. Playing for speed, for scale, that is a race we are always going to lose. Our true advantage, our superpower, lies in what makes us different. Our feel for stories, our ability to navigate uncertainty, and our deep understanding of context.
So if that's the trap, then how in the world do we get out of it? Well, the answer isn't to become better, faster machines. It's to become more deeply human by reclaiming our primal intelligence.
So what is this stuff exactly?
Well, primal intelligence is really just a name for all that other cognitive machinery we have. Our intuition, our imagination, our emotions, and our common sense. And the most important thing to get is that this isn't about throwing logic out the window. Not at all. It's about completing it with these powerful human tools that AI simply can't copy.
Let's break that down into 4 key powers we all have. First, there's intuition, that gut feeling you get, your ability to spot when something's just off. Then there's imagination, our incredible power to create scenarios in our heads to see what could be. Third is emotion. That's not noise, it's data. It's the data that tells us what actually matters. And finally, common sense, our practical, story-based judgment about how the world really works.
And look, this isn't some fluffy, feel-good idea. It's backed by hard evidence from neuroscience and cognitive theory. It's even been tested in the real world with elite groups. We're talking military special operations, who found that when they trained these skills, they made better, faster decisions when the stakes were highest.
Okay, so the theory is pretty compelling. But how do you actually use it? How do you make it real? Let's get practical. Here's your action plan for building up your own primal intelligence.
It really boils down to a few daily practices. Think of it like a workout for your brain. You start by just building awareness. You can keep a little story log of your decisions or track the emotions that are influencing you. Then you start to analyze. Do little intuition drills where you look for what's breaking the pattern, or run what-if scenarios to stretch your imagination. And finally, you have to validate it. Check your gut feelings against what actually happens in the world and get feedback from other people on how they see the story. It's a full workout for your uniquely human mind.
So, what does this all add up to? What's the bottom line? This is about so much more than just a new thinking technique. It's really about reclaiming what makes us fundamentally human in a world that's filling up with machines.
And this is not just some intellectual exercise, right? Strengthening your primal intelligence has real, tangible benefits. It makes you more creative, it builds your resilience, and it sharpens your ability to make smart calls when the data is messy or missing, which, let's be honest, is most of the time.
There's a quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. It says, "Our narratives, emotions, and imaginations are not liabilities, but strengths." For way too long, we've been told the exact opposite. But the truth is, these things, they are our greatest advantages.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Every single choice we make, every decision, is driven by a story we're telling ourselves. So the most important question you can ask is this: what story is running your mind right now, and is it the right one?